Hey everyone, this is John Gillie, founder and CEO of TruckTractorTrailer.com. Thanks for tuning into our Stream podcast. Stream is a TruckTractorTrailer.com production that serves to educate our community by bringing on experts to provide real live insights to help you run your business, navigate your professional career, or simply spark a new idea. Today, I'm joined by board member, tech investor, serial entrepreneur, and talent expert, Christina Olsen. Christina is here to talk about her personal journey from corporate executive to entrepreneur and to share some of her wisdom and secrets to success. Today is the first of several conversations we have planned with Christina, and we feel incredibly fortunate to have Christina with us today. Hey, Christina, thanks for being on stream.
Hey, John, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. So please share with our listener, you know, how we were first introduced. We know, but I think the listener would really benefit by understanding the networking and the connections that you have made in your career, and how they can maybe draw some inspiration from it.
Yeah, I mean, how we met, right? First of all, John, you're a connector. That's what I'll tell you. You're out there, you're networking, you know a lot of people, and you're always talking and getting new ideas and sharing your vision. I was introduced to you through a friend of mine who he became a friend, Lucas. He was actually a client that I worked with for a while when I had Black Force. We went kind of our separate ways, but always kept in touch. And he was introduced through networking to you and wasn't the right fit. And he thought of me and introduced us. So I'm grateful for that networking opportunity, which also really was leveraged off of LinkedIn and some of the other social networks that we leverage.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for the compliment, but right back at you. You are an awesome contemporary marketer. I've learned so much from you, even in the short time we worked together. But going back to Lucas, our connection was the Aramark. I started my early career with Aramark, and in fact, some of those relationships that I established early on, I still have today. 20, 30 years later, it's remarkable. So for the listeners out there that are just starting off your career, or mid career, or even at the end of your career, you understand the benefit of relationships and networking. So thanks to Lucas for putting us together, and I really appreciate it, and really a testament to him being connected, Lucas being connected, and just seeing a fit. So thanks, Lucas. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Christina, tell me about bring the listener up to speed on your transition from corporate executive over to entrepreneur, because I know when I lost my mind leaving my cush, high paying easy job at corporate America to go into entrepreneurship, was an eye opener for me. I'm glad I did it. It was the right thing. I wish I did it earlier, but I think the listener would really appreciate hearing your story.
Okay. Yeah. So the one key takeaway I would say for anybody who's kind of thinking, I don't know if I want to be in corporate America, or I want to go out on my own as an entrepreneur, is to have a vision. And my vision for leaving corporate America was mostly my family at the time. I needed to have, I live my life on the 4 F's, right? So it's family, it's faith, it's fitness, and finances. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, it was to have that freedom to be able to segment my time when I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it grew from those 4 F's to also fixing. So there's another F.
Yeah.
Um, Fixing how talent acquisition was done in corporate
Mm-hmm.
America. I
Yeah.
saw a lot of areas where we could improve. And so I set out on that journey. Obviously stumbled along the way. But in the end, as long as I had those visions and my core values upholding me, not only in my personal life, but also in my professional, it helps ground you in what you're doing. And even in the tough times, it'll help you keep going and get back at it.
Yeah. Awesome. I love the 4 Fs. I love or 5 Fs. For me, it's around. I have buckets as well. It's about health, family, meaningful employment, and then economic freedom. Right. So I think my journey going from corporate to entrepreneur, the meaningful employment really shifted a bit. The focus on health and didn't, the focus on family didn't, but really the uh, economic bucket, economic freedom, or let's say meaningful employment, really did kind of shift. So sounds like we're aligned there. But I love the Fs. I'm gonna have to write those down and revisit that for my own personal self. So what's your take on? I know you and I, when we first met, we were talking about industries, and I think one of the things that was intriguing to you coming into trucking and being an advisor. I know that you're into all types of different business segments. Was I think that how large and the trucking and transportation business is. So I'm just curious, and I think the listener would be too, on what your first impressions are on the trucking industry, and it's less about TTT, but more about the trucking industry on whole. And we can save TTT specific issues for maybe a second or a third podcast. But what's your take on the trucking industry today?
Um, the trucking industry today is recession proof, serves all different industries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no matter if you're thinking about going into trucking in whatever capacity, whether it's driver, owner, operator, functional G&A, that could support for a trucking company, it's a great industry to be in.
Yeah.
Again, recession proof because it covers all of the different and diverse industry base.
Mm-hmm.
For me, what I've noticed working with TTT and a lot of my research and speaking to other trusted advisors is trucking needs to become a little bit more contemporary. And, a lot of the processes, a lot of the technology, even the trucks are old. And so bringing that into the 21st century is important. And that's why I am part of TTT. I like what you guys are doing.
Well, we appreciate you being here. You, in a very kind way, nudged me to think bigger, right? And I know some people that know us both would say, I don't need to think bigger. I need to think smaller. But I think there's a great careful balance that you and I have, the dance that you and I have to think bigger about the future with trucktractortrailer.com, really starting to incorporate 2.0 type of technology, AI, ChatGPT, either offshore support call centers or contact centers to really elevate TTT to the next level, and we'll get there. But also, I agree. I think trucking is in a always in transformation, but I think in its, let's say, 150-year history, not just motorized transportation, but going back to, let's say, the Pony Express and just basic wagon wheel transportation in freight, is that it's embarking on a truly a revolution right now. And I'm not just talking about the way trucks are bought and sold. Of course, everybody knows Tesla and Tesla.com, buying online and consumer auto. But I'm not just talking about how what's powering the trucks. Is it going to be diesel? Is it going to be clean diesel? Is it going to be electric? Is it going to be hydrogen? This is an industry that is facing enormous challenges to contemporize, and at the same time, like you said, deliver goods cheaper, better, faster, and safer. At the same time, which I'm really excited about tapping into you, Christina, for future episodes and modeling, is really on talent acquisition and retention and compliance, and how does TTT participate in that world to help our fleets and carriers source drivers, technicians, middle management, EV, subject matter experts, etc. Because I think that's really the next the challenge for most companies is winning the war for talent. And I think that one of the things that you and I hit on early on was that we agree that the teams with the best talent usually win. And I know TTT, our team is really focused on that, but our customers, both on the sell side and buy side, are also focused on building the best teams.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. I mean, every time somebody asks me, how did you get to where you are as an entrepreneur, and what are like your key 3 pillars of anybody who's going to start a business? It's, for me, it's making sure you understand what your service or product has to offer, right? So that you can kind of, you and I have talked about this, the blue ocean strategy. What sets you apart from all the competitors out there. That's number one, because then from there you can build your why and your mission and your values.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really important. And that's a Simon Sinek thing that I picked up with, and I've driven throughout my entire 10 years that I've been an entrepreneur. And by doing that, having those 2 pillars be really strong, when you hire good people, then you're able to drive the mission, vision, and value and keep those people aligned and engaged. And so it's not only locating and finding the right talent, which we will be able to help our customers with, but it's also engaging that talent once you have them. And when you have a company that has a solid mission and knows what their strategy is and can articulate that, it keeps your employees engaged and happy. And we can help our customers and our buyers with that.
Absolutely. Well, Christina, thank you so much for being with us here today. I know we could go a lot longer. We have a number of conversations scheduled. Excited about that. And is there any parting words of advice that you could give our listeners today?
I would just say, keep listening to us for more exciting news.
Awesome. All right. Well, Christina, thank you for being on today. Truly feel fortunate to have you with us on this journey and adding value all the way around. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. And listener, reach out if we can be of service. You can find Christina and myself on LinkedIn. You can find us on the trucktractortrailer.com website and across all social media. Thanks for joining us today. Have fun and be safe out there.